أصدقائي وأخواتي وحبايبي، أهلا وسهلا بيكم في حلقة جديدة من برنامج ڤويب. حلقة يعني أنا منتظرها بقالي كتير، لأن حلقة النهاردة إحنا مش بس هنتكلم عن الفن التشكيلي ولا هنتكلم عن أهميته ولا عن أنواع الفن التشكيلي، ولكن إحنا هنتكلم عن تأثير الفن التشكيلي في حياتنا. ومعايا النهاردة ضيفة أنا بحبها جدا وبحب فنها وبحب أعمالها اللي أنا دايما بشوفها وبستمتع بيها، إزاي بتقدر تنقل كل الأعمال الفنية بتاعتها على أرض الواقع عن طريق الأشكال والرسومات والأدوات وحتى الحاجات اليوميه اللي احنا بنستخدمها زي اللبس والمجات وحاجات كتير جدا يعني. بس قبل ما ابدا اي حاجه خلونا نسال ضيفتنا النهارده ونرحب بيها قبل ما نبتدي حلقتنا. اهلا وسهلا بك يا ريم، انا سعيد جدا بوجودك معايا في برنامج ڤويب.
أهلا وليد، شكرا for the invitation.
اهلا بك يا ريم. ريم طبعا يعني السؤال المعتاد طبعا اللي هو يعني مين هي ريم؟ يعني انا طبعا عارف مين ريم، وجمهورك طبعا اللي بيحبك طبعا عارف مين ريم، بس الناس اللي اول مره بتتابع ريم وعايزه تتعرف اكتر عن ريم، يا ريت تعرفينا اكتر عن نفسك.
ريم سباعي، فنانة تشكيلية من المغرب. The art world دائما كان I've been interested by the art since I was a kid. I started painting with my father, and whenever we traveled, we've been like my parents would take us to museums. So I always was interested and fascinated by the art world. So basically, I did when there was time for me to choose what I want to study. I studied in American University and I studied business and art. And it's been 4 years that I'm a full-time artist.
يعني نقدر نقول ان الموضوع مش جديد عليكي، يعني بقالك بالظبط اكتر من 4 سنين متمرسة في الموضوع ده. بس هو الموضوع مش بس عبارة عن يعني هواية، بل هو موضوع اكاديمي اكتر ودراسة اكتر. يا ريت تكلمينا عن التجربة يا ريم، انا عايز ما اعرف اكتر ازاي قدرتي ان انت تخلي التجربة دي تنقليها على ارض الواقع، ازاي قدرتي ان تخلي الناس تحب اكتر اعمالك او تخلي الاعمال بتاعتك اعمال معروفة اكتر ومشهورة اكتر. يا ريت تعرفينا عن الموضوع ده. كنت بسألك كريم عن البدايات بتاعتك، يعني ازاي بدأتي، منين جت البداية، ان الناس يتعرفوا على فنك ويتعرفوا عليك اكتر. ايه تعرفينا عن الموضوع ده؟
أنا بديت في واحد exhibit in Casablanca in Morocco, and at the beginning I was hesitating because when you paint, you do it and you put some of yourself in the painting, so you're always stressed and scared of what people would think about your art. So it's always very difficult at the beginning to showcase your work and to share it with people. But during my first exhibition in Casablanca, which like my first professional exhibition that was in Casablanca in 2018, people liked what I was doing, and that motivates you to continue and to produce more and to even like work on other products and everything. So the start, I think anything you start, it's very hard. But when you find people who motivate you and people who like your work, well, you start doing collections and you start showcasing your work.
يعني انت بدأتي في الارت اكزيبيشنز، وبعد كده الموضوع بقى عبارة عن جاليريز، وبعد كده بدأتي انك تجمعي كل الكولكشنز بتاعتك، ارت كولكشن، وبعد كده بدأت الموضوع ستيب باي ستيب لحد ما بدأتي تجمعي برضو اعمال كتير. You have your own artworks and that's really interesting. And from I think from since the time you did it, the people or more people explore a lot from your artworks. كلميني اكتر عن how did you manage to make your artworks be more creative? Can you know what I mean? How you made it like look
Yes.
like creative, like cubist art, the fine art, everything. How you make the mix between these arts? الفن التكعيبي، الفن التشكيلي، كلمينا اكتر عن الموضوع ده.
Yes, the thing is that as I told you, when you're a kid and you visit a lot of museums and a lot of like you see artists, and that always like it stays inside your brain. And I used to love going to visit Picasso Museum in Malaga, for example. That was very inspiring for me. And seeing Miro Museum in Barcelona and stuff like this. and so that within you it evaluates and
We
it
do
creates
have one
like
in Egypt, I
your own
think.
style.
Picasso
Sorry.
gallery in Egypt. Yeah, we do have one in Egypt in Zamalek
Oh,
تحديدا يعني in
really?
Egypt.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
nice. I never been to Egypt, but when I'll go, I'll make sure to visit.
Okay, we're looking forward to see you. Oh, yeah.
MashaAllah.
Okay, so you visited a lot of places, a lot of galleries from all over the world. يعني الجاليريز دي كانت هي يعني زي ما نقدر نقول ده الانترنس، يعني المدخل بتاعك للعالم ده، للعالم الفنون، وبداتي من ساعتها انك تتعرفي اكتر عن عن الفن التكعيبي، وعن برضو عن الفن التشكيلي. طيب الانسبريشن، عايزين برضو نتكلم عن الانسبريشن. ايه اكتر حاجه الهمتك؟ where is the inspiration come from؟ ايه اكتر حاجه حسيتي ان هي مدياك الانسبريشن؟
I think well we get inspired from, like, I personally get inspired from everything I live, like from my trips, from my daily life, from where I studied, from everything that you see and experience, and especially things that make you feel a certain way or not. Because when you paint, for me it's a tool, it's a communication tool, so it's a way to communicate, another way to communicate than just words. So it's through the colors, it's through the shapes. That's why I use a lot of colors in my paintings, because you associate every feeling to a certain color and to a certain shape. So basically, my inspiration, it's my daily life. It's where I come from. It's my culture. It's what I lived, and it's my dreams too. It's like what's gonna come next also.
تمام جدا. يعني احنا نقدر نقول الانسبريشن جالك من المكان، من العيشه، من الحياه العمليه، الحياه الطبيعيه عامه، from normal life, from everything you see around.
Yes.
You got the inspiration. طيب كلميني اكتر عن yeah, قولي go ahead.
No, that's it. I just
انا بتكلم في نقطه، يعني انت من كل حاجه from everything you got your own inspiration. كلميني اكتر برضو ازاي عرفتي انك انت تخلي الانسبريشن ده يعني تتاثري بيه، بس ما تقلديش حاجه معينه، بمعنى اصح ان انت تحطي برضو بصمتك في الفن ده، او you got your own touch or your own creativity. You got me؟ فاهم قصدي؟
I think so. I think
Okay.
like how did I get my personal touch, no?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
بالظبط كده.
So this is what I was saying, you know, like even if you go to, for example, I would say that I really love Picasso style. So even if I go and I visit Picasso and I get inspired by him, I also include my personal experience in life, my personal background, how I feel about it. So even if I get inspired by other artists, or even if artists get inspired by other artists or other piece of work, they always add that touch to it. And for me, for example, like in my artwork, and especially in my last collection, Sound of Colors, that is Moroccan scenes. So maybe you can see a bit of cubism and a bit of naive that is inspired by other artists, but it's my culture that I show through that work, you know? I don't know if I explain myself.
Yeah, I got you. I totally got you. انا دلوقتي فهمت، وانا عن نفسي انا فاهم، انا بس انا بتكلم في حته المشاهدين، يعني اتمنى يكونوا فاهمين برضو عشان الكلام كله بالانجلش. So that's why I will make subtitles. Don't worry for this episode. Okay.
Yes.
Now you say
Sorry,
that you have like you mixed the yeah. You mixed between the cubism and also your culture. You put them together, like so that you can make it look more more creative. You know what I mean? Like you have your own tradition, but yeah. To deliver your story, by the way, yeah. That's really interesting. So how did you manage to make that? How did you made like how you made the entire idea, like where does the idea come from? How did you make it?
Actually, I lived abroad for like several years for my studies and working abroad. So when I came back to Morocco, I felt like a reconnection to my culture, to my music, to my traditions. So that's where I started to include like Moroccan touches in my paintings, and it's actually, you know, like, because before leaving Morocco, we always like see the American culture better than ours, or see like in general Western culture better than ours. But when I came back, when I lived abroad for 3 years, and I lived in that culture, and I came back, I realized how rich is Moroccan culture, and that's why I dedicated this collection to Moroccan music scene, where I put a lot of Moroccan objects or patterns or things that reflect the culture here.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, I do really love the Moroccan culture. You know, like the dresses and the Moroccan tea and everything. Like, it's really interesting. You know, like you do have really a wonderful culture. It's really cool to be more oriented by the culture or more affected by the culture, because I do really love my own culture. I do really love Egypt and Egyptian culture and everything. So that's why we should deliver your messages between from your inspiration, and it's really cool to have your inspiration from the same place you were born. So that's really cool, and that's really interesting to have more background from your own culture, and that's really nice. So
And
how did you manage to make
and hopefully the next and hopefully the next podcast, my classical Arabic will be better, so that we do it in Arabic.
Yeah, it's cool, yeah, it's totally fine, yeah. I mean, like, don't worry, it will be translated to 3 languages, don't worry. Arabic, English, French, don't worry. All right, so now we are talking about the culture and the Moroccan culture, and your artworks from your inspiration, your artworks inspiration from the Moroccan culture. Now we will move to the next point, the music collection from your group, as we mentioned before. How did you manage to make this collection? You know what I mean. How did you make it look more, passionate, or more, you know what I mean, more clear, or
The thing is that I feel it's not more clear or less clear than the other collections. Maybe in this collection, I'm more sure about myself, let's say. And that's how I can make it different than the other ones, because I have other collections where it's there is one called Face to Face, where it's famous people, and I paint them in my own style. Or there is another collection called The Blurred, where it's like already known pieces from famous artists that I retouch in my own style. And there is one that I really like. It's called Artgressions, that I've done when I was living in Barcelona, and it was a lot inspired by street art, because Barcelona is very known by its street art and like artworks, urban artwork. But this one, let's say, I was more sure of myself when doing it, because it's something that I lived with since I was a kid. Like, it's my culture, it's me. So when I paint, I'm sure about myself more than the other collections.
So you are more careful about the thing you want. You have this own thing, like you want to make something you feel. You want to make something you're really passionate about. So that's why you choose to have this one, something, a collection from your own place and from your own culture, and that's why you have to make something really touching your heart, or touching the eye before the heart. You know what I mean? So that's why everything around is really important, to be clear about how passionate your artworks will be. So that's a really good point. I want to talk about the difficulties. How it was difficult to be a more, you know what I mean, a cubist artist, to be an artist, in general, you know what I mean? How?
What I was
It's to be in general, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what you are doing, but I mean, in general, like, it's really hard to for someone to make his own ideas, and to to make it more practical, and you know what I mean. Like, I do really want to know how you managed to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still managing it and figuring things out, but it's true. It's very hard, but because as I told you, I studied business and art, so it's already difficult to make that choice by yourself to say, I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
do
forgot
this.
about the
I'm not
business.
gonna
Yeah,
work.
it's really.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not gonna work for someone. I'm not gonna create something that is mainstream. I'm gonna be an artist already. That's like a very difficult step by like for myself and within myself, and then to share
exactly.
this
Yeah,
with your family, with your friends. It's also hard, but
with all over
uh,
the world. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but thanks God, like my family were very supportive and my friends also. But then it's very hard, as I told you even before, because when you create, you put something from you in that painting. So it's very hard. Like at the beginning, it's very stressful. You don't know how people are gonna react, but then you get used to that some people are gonna like it and some others are not gonna like it, and that part was difficult for me too, because you always want not to please people, but to create something that they would love. Here, there. Okay, I can't see you anymore. So that's another difficulty. But I would say it's also difficult because it's not a job. Another difficulty I was
okay.
saying it's for a person who's not disciplined. It's very hard because when you work for someone or you work with someone, you have like a 9 5 job and you have to work those hours. But as an artist, you have to get inspired. You have to like, so if you're not really disciplined, it's very hard to be on track. And then I would say
Mhm.
another difficulty is there are some months where you don't sell any painting, or you have to wait until your next exhibition to showcase and sell your artwork. So there are several few difficulties that you encounter when you're an artist.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. I think I totally agree. It's not really easy to handle everything around. Like, you are studying business and you also work as an artist, so it's really hard to make the connection between your studies and your hobbies and everything around. You want to make your own ideas. You want to make everything look more perfect. So you're trying as hard as you can to make everything look more better, more way cooler than ever. So it's really hard. It's not that easy for everyone to handle everything around. So how did you manage the time between everything? How can you make your schedule more, organized? How
Yeah,
did you make it? You know what I mean?
for me that's the hardest. That's the hardest part because how do you say it? I want to do a lot of stuff at the same time, so sometimes it's very difficult to schedule everything. But like how I manage it is when I have a due date, like a private sale that I have to like prepare something for. Well, I have to like plan it ahead. Or for example, in October, I'm having like an exhibit in Montreal, Canada. So like you
Hmm.
plan, but like when you have a date to exhibit or to showcase your work, well, then you have no way to like go around. But when you just paint to paint, sometimes it's hard to keep on track and do everything.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So it's really hard to you are trying as hard as you can, but it's not always working at the same time. But at the end, you can make it more better by managing the time. You are organizing everything. You are
Yeah.
trying to make everything be perfect at the point. At the meantime, you are working. So I really do encourage you. I really do say salute for your hard
Thank
work.
you.
So it's really cool. It's really cool to try as much as you can to make everything looks more better. Yeah. So
Mhm.
we talk about the difficulties. We talk about your family who supports you the most. So let's talk more about the goals. What's your targets? What are the
Well,
goals that you want to make? Yeah.
For me,
All right.
as someone who paints, the most important thing that was for me at the beginning was for people to recognize my work. Like whatever I do, people see it and say, "Well, this is like Reem's work." I think I've achieved this goal, which was really important for me. So right now, the idea is to create like a variety of products, hand painted. I already started like besides the paintings, I created like a hand painted jacket brand. I also painted on ceramics. I also did bags and hats. So basically, the idea is to like grow this type of product. I'm also working on traditional Moroccan dresses that we go to weddings for. So the goal is to make a whole collection of that probably soon by the end of the year. So that's my goal for now.
That's cool, and I want to talk about the idea of the the collection and the dresses and the shirts and also all the things around the handmade artworks. How you manage to make these handmade artworks? I mean, like when we were talking about the goals,
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes. As I said, my goal right now is to work on the Moroccan traditional dress, to make a whole collection out of that. Yeah. I can't hear you.
Sorry, my mic was off. So I want to tell me more about the idea of the traditional Moroccan artworks in the handmade artworks. How you manage to make all the things around. This was the whole idea of the creativity that you have made. So I was really impressed by the artworks. I really liked them. So tell me more about them. What are the next ideas? What are the targets? What are the creative things that you want to create to your audience? Please tell me more about it.
For me, as I told you, when I came back here, I realized that there's so many things that we can work with, especially here in Fez. If you go to the old Medina of Fez, people are still working like if they were doing when like hundreds and hundreds years ago. So there's a lot of like artisans who are still working by hand with leather, with pottery, with so many things, and I find that very interesting. And I wanted to work with these artisans, and that's what I did with the pottery and ceramics.
So it's really cool that you want to influence your people from the ideas you want to imagine. Like the whole imagination from the normal artworks. It makes people think more about the ideas. So it's really cool to create more ideas, and it's really more cooler to make the ideas more, what I mean, materialistic. More like material. So it's really cool. How you manage to make the whole imagination to a real thing. Like I do really want to know the process. Is it hard? Is it easy? Because everyone is asking about it.
Yeah, well, it's very different from one product to another, because even the material we work with is different. So basically, with the ceramics, I work hand in hand with the artisans from Fez. So basically, they give me their know-how. Like we combine both of our know-how and like experience to reach to a design of a product. Same thing with the Moroccan dress. There's a specialized women who know like how things work and everything. So I learn from them and they learn from me, and that's how we end up with the product.
So we were talking about the general idea of the inspiration, and also we now know the process, and we know that it's not that easy. It also the process take so much long to be more perfect piece, you know what I mean? Like it's the wall thing. So I want you to, yeah, exactly, yeah. So I want you to tell me how you want to, what the message or what the idea you want to deliver from your artworks, exactly these artworks, you know what I mean?
Well, basically to show that, because for me, like I use the colors, I use like bright colors and everything. It's like combining the child I was with the adult I became. So basically, that's the message number one is never let go of your inner child. Always have that joy and even that innocence, let's say. And then depending on the collection, I have several like messages that I talk about. Sometimes I work about our society, like about feminism, part of feminism, etc. But basically, with the last collection, is just I don't want to like deliver a specific message, but it's more of something like for me that, as I told you, a reconnection to my culture and tradition, and to showcase my culture and tradition throughout the world, and also to also show people that and show myself first of all that my culture is very rich, something that I haven't seen, that I was not seeing before, you know, that I wasn't giving it a lot of importance as I'm doing right now.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So it's really amazing. Like you have like several ideas, you know, like the idea of feminism, idea of the tradition culture from Morocco, and it's also cool that you don't want to only deliver a specific message, but you want to deliver a lot of messages and a lot of things from your artworks. So it's really cool to have many ideas you want to deliver. So I want to ask you about what is your dream about Reem? You know, what is your dream? What do you want to achieve in the future? What do you want to achieve from delivering your ideas from through your artworks? And what exactly you want to achieve in the upcoming days, or yeah?
Let's say that I want to let people, like, I have several things that I want to like that are my goals to share with people. Basically, like, you know, because as I told you before, like at the beginning, to start and pursuing this career was very difficult. So I want to tell people that they can do it, that they're gonna go through a lot of ups and downs, and more downs than ups, but they should never give up, and like keep on pursuing their dream. And basically, I want to share that with them, and not be shy, and just like share your things. There are a lot of like platforms nowadays that have, like Instagram, Pinterest. There's several like platforms that are related to art where they can showcase their work. And if something doesn't turn out well, that there's no problem, that the next one will turn out better, you know, like, and this is like from my own little experience, you know, like the first interview was not like the second interview, was like a bit better, and that things are gonna, you're gonna achieve your goals like step by step. But as a dream for my work and everything, I mean, to showcase my work like internationally, and there is like one museum that I dream like to exhibit. It's the MoMA in New York. So basically, that could be one of my biggest dreams.
Uh-huh. That's really amazing. I do really love your passion about the work. Like it's not also that you are only working as an artist who want to work and made a lot of artworks. Not that's not the point. The point is that you want to encourage a lot of youth to work more. A lot of young people who looking forward to make more artificial things. So you want to encourage them. You want to let them make a lot of steps into the artworks. So it's really important to encourage the young people, and that's what I'm really seeking from all my guests in the exactly in this podcast. I do really want people to know more about the general idea of the art, not only working as an artist, but also encouraging a lot of young people to be more professional artists in the future. Yeah. So I think it's really cool that you want to let the people take a new step in their life by influencing them by your artwork. So it's really cool, and I want to thank you for doing that for the young people. Uh, we are really close to the end of the episode, but before we say goodbye to all the fans, I want to hear the last message. What do you want to say to all the young people who are listening to you, who are looking forward to see your future works? What do you want to say exactly to the people who are afraid, especially the girls who not into the art or any kind of the artificial things? So what do you want to say to them?
Well, exactly what I told you before, but I can add something else is, um, like, uh, never be afraid to like miss it. Like, well, first of all, you have to work hard. That's for sure, because nothing comes just like that. To never stop learning, I think that's really important, because nowadays, like, everything is so like fast. Like, everything is changing so fast. So just to like keep up and work hard and never give up, and use everything that is in our hands right now, like all the platforms there are, like social media, like use them a lot. And I would say collaborate with other brands and other artists. I think that's really important, because one brain is good, but when you have two brains, it's like you can reach another level
Mm-hmm.
of ideas and of hard work.
Uh-huh. I think it's a really good point. I think it's really cool to learn from the social media and internet. So it's really cool to learn from another people, to work as a group, to collaborate with a lot of artists. That's really a good point. I want to encourage you about it. So yeah, it's really cool. And also, I want to hear a last message from you to all your friends, your family, and your fans. Exactly, yeah, and all the people who loves you. What do you want to say to them?
Well, I want to like thank everyone who has been supporting, like now that you are asking this question and saying everyone who are supporting, I'm thinking like from my like first exhibit, like everyone who, or like the person who helped me hang my paintings, from the guy who transported my paintings to the place, from the guy who stretches my like the my paintings that I work on,
Yeah,
like
it's a long
everyone,
journey. Yeah, I know.
yeah, like from everywhere, like all the people who have been in the process, like I thank them so much. It's really important for an artist, like um not even to sell their work, but only to know that people are like liking what we create, or like only giving us like a thumbs up on Instagram or whatever. Like, we see you, we know who you are, and that really motivates us.
Yeah,
So thank
exactly.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you are welcome. You are welcome, Reem. And I also want to thank anyone who are, like encouraging or supporting the artist. Supporting is really something we all need exactly when we are doing something we love. So I do really appreciate the people who are supporting the artificial works, and I do really appreciate what you are doing for the young people who really wants to learn a lot of more about the art, or wants to learn more about your ideas, or want to deliver messages and learn from your artworks. So that's really cool, and also cool to encourage the people to learn more about or know more about the arts or the artworks. Yeah. So that's really cool. Reem, I want to thank you so much for this great episode.
Thank you so much for it. Thank you.
It was really a nice speech, and I really liked. And I don't want to end the chat with you. I want to ask you more about it, but it's really cool to, you know, like to have many background from the artificial things. So I want to thank you. Thank you so much. شكرا بزاف على الحلقة دي. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much everyone for watching. شكرا لكم جميعا. أشوفكم حلقات تانية جديد. See you next time and goodbye.